Hello, everyone, and this is Whale FM Community Spotlight. Whale is home to one of the absolute most robust collections of artists, builders, collectors, and enthusiasts, all under one oceanic roof. Join us as we look to highlight some of the amazing projects being built and worked on by our diverse and potent creative community. Our first guest today was brought to us by Sawshank, the Altius DAO. Sawshank, could you please introduce us to this project and tell us how you have been working with them?
Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Thanks, Nightmare. So yeah, I think Altius is a very interesting journey. Just to give you some context, this is a project about bringing sports and fans and NFT together. So I always have been. I mean, I've played a little bit, but I've been super huge fan of sports in general, and I was just dabbling with thinking about how do you kind of do something around that. And then coincidentally I met these three guys who were also thinking about doing something around that, and so we kind of started, I would say, experimenting with various things. We did a couple of we partnered with an athlete who did their drop for did some of their NFTs drop for celebrating their legacy. Then we further experimented, saying that hey, photography and sports go together. So we did a sports photography drop, which is still live on Foundation. Unfortunately, hasn't sold much, but I think it's a very unique collection. So we kept on doing this, and in this process, I think we learned about what we actually wanted to build. So it's not like we suddenly woke up saying one day, hey, this is what we want to do and this is what the team wants to do. And then I think we kind of, where we are in the journey now is now thinking about solving a problem which is probably relevant to a lot of sports fans. So the idea is, if we can make a community which has access to sports facilities and also has access to sports people who want to play that sport. So, for example, I keep traveling to Dubai, and I'm going to Dubai, and I want to play a soccer match. This community then allows me to find people who want to do that, and the project itself has turfs booked or turfs available for us to kind of go along and do this. So that's where I think we are in this journey. I of course have Amit, Anurag, and Roy here to speak more. So I will leave it to them to kind of take it from here.
Awesome. Before we do, these are people that you had worked with in the NFT space, or you just familiar with from your sports communities? How do you guys come together?
Oh, cool. So a couple of them are juniors from my college, and I think so among, like in my college, I was one of the few ones who kind of, or the odd one who was like really dabbling hard into NFTs, and these guys also started to figure out that hey, we want to do something, and we had a college group in which we just kind of started chatting, and yeah, that's where this kind of drummed up.
Awesome. Especially relative to sports, that makes even more sense to me, right? Because you guys are probably talking, hey, we do this already. Let's really scale it up with the power of NFTs. And appropriate that you're here with Whale, right? Because it's also the power of community. And what can community mean for this global organization of sports? So I have the deck that you guys had prepared. Would you like me to parse through the slides? Let me know how you'd like me to do that.
Yeah, I would actually like the team to take it through. Yeah, I mean, that would be cool. Anurag, you want to take it down?
Yeah, so like if it's okay, we'll take through the slides, and if it's okay, we can share the screen. Is that fine?
Sure. Would you like to share it? You can go on the bottom there. There's a share screen option, or I could just click through what I have up. It's up to you.
So Amit, can you share your screen? I think Amit seems to be a bit rough. So
you can speak, and you can Nightmare can.
Yeah, Nightmare, you could just take us through the slides if that's okay. I'll start speaking, and then you could scroll them. So yeah,
Sure.
so I'll just take like 5 minutes of the time. I'll take you through what the thing is. So yeah, as Sawshank mentioned, we go back a bit in terms of how we are connected with Sawshank. more than a mentor or an advisor, he's a senior to us. So that is how we are connected. Now, what is Altius DAO? It's a simple community. The idea is to build a community with the primary utility of providing premium sports facilities access to the members. So that is the core utility we want to bring. We realized when we spoke to a lot of people that everyone wants to play sport. There are two reasons why they can't. One, they don't find places to play, and second, they don't find people to play with. For example, if you want to play soccer, you need at least 10 people, 5 individuals in 2 teams to play with. So we are trying to just solve that simple problem. That I say I was in Dubai, I say I want to play golf. I go into the community, I say that I'm in Dubai, want to play golf, who all are up? Say I find 5 people who are ready to play golf with me in Dubai. Then I go to the website, see which all sports facilities are listed on the Altius platform which are in Dubai. I select one of them, I book it, and boom, we are done. So with this simple idea, we want to solve the problem that anyone can go and play sport wherever you want with like-minded people who also want to play the sport. That is a simple thing we want to do. Now, how do you want to do it? It's a very simple and easy plan. Collaborate with the premium quality sports facilities on one hand, and on the other hand, you build a community of people who love sports. So these are the 2 simple things that we want to do. I understand it's very easy to say but difficult to do, but yeah, that's the thing. A total of 10,000 NFTs that we want to do in the initial drop, and then we take it forward from there. Now, something that we want to also bring into the NFT art, we want to, so we have been very closely connected with a lot of sports photographers. We want to make sure that the NFT art that we bring in is actually the world's first crowdsourced NFT work. So basically, it will have 320 different pixels on the art, and each pixel will be one sports photograph. Also, whosoever buys this NFT or mints this NFT gets a free airdrop of one of the 320 random photographs being airdropped to them. So that is how we want to play the NFT art part of it. Now, in terms of the utilities that we have, it's very simple. The core utility stays that it provides access to top-notch sports facilities across the globe. In addition to that, when the sports community starts to build, we realize that there's a lot of vibe, a lot of fun, a lot of emotions which come into a sports community wherever you build it. We want to bring in match tickets, watch parties, exclusive merchandise to it. And in addition to that, the Web3 collab stays as it is. So the whitelist remains the alphas and the relationship that we build. So yeah. Now, the other thing that we had in our mind from day 0, the day we connected with Shashank and started to build is, we want to make sure we want to do something for the sports community, and that is why there will be an Altius Foundation. Predetermined percentage of whatever money is generated in the system gets moved to the Altius Foundation, which will be used to support upcoming athletes over a period of time. Yeah. A simple roadmap. You launch the project website, you do collaborations with artists, you create the art, you do the NFT drop, and you create the foundation. That is the first part of it, which we are right now in. We are in that stage. As soon as the NFT drop happens and the sell happens, we immediately start to aggressively build collaborations with the sports facilities across the globe. And we build the platform on which a lot of engagement in terms of booking the place, finding right people to play with, those happens. And then the IRL utilities and the Web3 utilities also come into the picture. And then in the subsequent stage, we want to do more NFT drops. When we spoke to a lot of these sports fans, we realized that most of them either play 1 or 2 sport, right? So the initial Genesis drop that we do, that will be an overarching thing where you have access to all sort of sports. But any subsequent drops that we plan to do, that will be limited to a specific sport. So for example, the next drop that we'll do will have access to only soccer facilities. So that will be priced accordingly, and those NFTs will have access to only soccer facilities. So that is how we are going to do the subsequent drops. And also there is a DAO and a decentralization angle to this entire thing that we are doing. Yeah. As the other thing, so along with the foundation, one other thing that we clearly have in our mind is that we gradually want to decentralize it, because we think this idea is something which cannot be restricted by boundaries, by countries, or by counties. This is a global thing, and it has to be done in a global way. A few cannot execute this, and that is why we want to do it in a decentralized form, gradually move into decentralizations. The governance will come through the Altius NFTs. The founders, advisors, investors, and community get the right to the governance, and they decide on all the most important decisions of the entire ecosystem. So which is the collaborations with sports facilities, marketing, treasury, and all the sort of things. Yeah. and the governance get all the power and the responsibilities of decision making. They get the dividends from the operations, and also they get additional staking rewards. And in due course of time, we bring in the Altius token also. Now the token will capture the economic benefit of the ecosystem. It will act as a reward for lots of things such as onboarding new specific facilities, using and utilizing those facilities as well. And over a period of time, we want to make sure that all transactions, all booking, the merchandise store, whatever you do, everything is being transacted with the Altius token. That is the utility that the token will get into. Yes, the team. So three of us, Amit, Manas, and Anurag. Yeah, so we are very close friends. We know each other for the last decade, more than a decade, and so that way we are very connected. We understand each other's positives, and we understand each other's shortcomings, and so we know whom to support when and whom to highlight when. And additionally, one thing is very clear: we have a lot of difference of opinions between us, but then we work together without any ego. So that is the biggest strength we have as our team. Yeah.
Well, I have to ask, being that this is sports related, who's the best athlete of the bunch?
So okay, so it's a different set of things. See, all three of us play. We still play a lot, but we have very different sports that we follow. So, for example, me, Anurag, I follow Formula One very closely, and I swim a lot. I swim a lot. I follow Formula One very closely. Amit is a big cricket fan. He plays cricket as well as follows cricket very closely. And Manas, he's also into
tennis and poker.
Yeah, he's the poker head of our team, so he's into deep poker playing. So yeah, very different sorts of sports that we
Nice.
play, but that's how it is. So we also understand that to carry out this sports related idea, we need some real strong names in terms of sports advisors. So we've got Jeev Milkha Singh, who's a globally well-known professional golfer who's there, and also we have got another Australian coach who is Kunal Bhasin. So these are our sports advisors. We plan to add more sports advisors as we move forward.
Now, is that from personal relationships that you guys have with these athletes, or you had reached out and talked about the project?
So we got connected with them in different ways. With Jeev, we got connected from our initial assignment that we did of dropping the NFT work of a legendary athlete. That is how we got connected with Jeev Milkha Singh. With Kunal Bhasin, it was a discussion of what all things we can do together, and he also wanted to create an impact, and that is how we got connected with Kunal as well. It was through a common relationship, but yeah, we started discussing what all we can do, and he likes the idea. He also wants, being a coach and a golfer himself, he also wants that sports should be more unanimous, should be more omnipresent globally. So that is how the things have happened. And obviously the business part of it, Shashank, as I said, more of a senior, a person whom we look up to rather than just being a mentor and an advisor. So this guy we trust.
Yes. Shashank, why'd you have to go so hard on us with the profile pic, man? That's intimidating.
See, so I don't collect PFPs generally, and this was the one which I collected, and it luckily became a rare one. So I said, dude, this is my moment of flexing out a PFP.
It definitely did, man.
Trust me, Nightmare, if I say this, Shashank as a human is exactly opposite to what you can see in this PFP. He is soft, he is lovable, he listens to you, he'll give you all support, all ideas that you need. So yeah. So that's
but I guess now seeing your PFP, Nightmare, I mean, nothing compares to, I think. I mean,
don't boost his ego any more than it has to be.
Watch it, Rune. You're still static for now.
So yeah, so what have we done till now? As Shashank had mentioned, we started off with the NFT drop of a legendary Indian athlete. We did that with the help of Polygon Studios initially. And then subsequently, we also tried a sports photography NFT collection with 4 globally renowned artists, one of them being a Pulitzer winner. So those are the 2 things we did. But then right now, after all of this, we are now just focused on building this one community-based platform, which will provide access to all the sports facilities. So that is one thing that we are doing right now. Yeah.
Let's play the more remains.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing that. A few questions for you guys, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So I love the idea of being part of an organization and then having access to facilities globally. do you already have relationships in the works with facilities? What are you targeting? Just trying to understand your methodology and approach to that.
Yeah. So there are okay. The first part, we have already started to talk with a lot of facilities and understand the kind of relationship they would be happy to have a community like us. So that is the initial set of touching base with them, connecting and talking has already begun. We now this again we understand is a global thing. So we have started touching base in Dubai. We have started touching base in the European continent. That
Dubai,
is happening.
London, so Dubai through Jeev London, and then Kunal himself, he's based in Australia. So Australia, 3 places.
So one
we have.
person, yeah. So one person in Europe, he's very close to us. So he is a team member of the Chelsea Football Club. So he is helping us with onboarding football, soccer playgrounds onto the system. He said that we can get the best of premium quality football things there. So yeah. So broadly, the works has started. We have already started dabbling with the idea and talking to people, and we'll see how it moves. Yeah.
And the true sports mentor, as I said, they have spoken for the golf facilities on board.
Can I ask a quick question? You just mentioned that you had a representative from Chelsea Football Club. Are you allowed to speak as to who that would be?
No, we could maybe do that offline, but
Nope,
yeah.
that's
So
fine. Nope, that's okay. That's perfectly fine.
Rune's a big football fan, so he's he's eager to hear who it is.
I'm Liverpool
Yeah.
through and through, though. But yeah, I'm still interested.
So this
So,
guy, the guy that we are talking about, is running his own podcast, NFT startup, in which he's podcasting all the NFT and sports related projects. So
So we can
that's
definitely share the thing with you separately. So there's no issue
Yeah,
with
no
that.
problem. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Rune always fishing for some alpha over there.
Hey,
I do. So I do like the idea of. So I like the idea of having access to facilities via your drop. Especially, it mentions here premium facilities, and I don't know what's in the plans, and certainly, I don't know a lot about what would be premier soccer stadiums or whatever to play in, but having a unique experience, like being able to play where the professional team plays, or being able to play at some of these more premier destinations for some of these big golf tournaments and things like that, that's something that would entice me and get me excited, in addition to the opportunity to just play with people. But hey, here's a place that's difficult to play traditionally, but because I'm part of this DAO, because I'm part of this organization, when I travel, I can go to Augusta or whatever, for example.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
see that is that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I'll take this.
yeah.
I'll
Take
take
this.
So yeah, so as I said, I mean that's remains our plan. That's why if you see in our team initially also the big names from the sports, and one major angle that we have said even from the foundation, we when we say that we support young athletes, young professional athletes, that brings the two causes. While definitely you support them, and when you bring them to the ecosystem, the athletes who are actually in the game currently playing, they help you get access to those names, those big sporting infra also. So that also would help.
Interesting. I wanted to ask you about this page as well. Is this part of your organization and an extension of it? Is this part of your project you'll be incorporating into, or something separate altogether?
No, okay. So this is that part of the thing where we say that a foundation will be there, which will be used to support the athletes. So this is the thing. So where we plan to create a system where the athletes can be supported in terms of the funds which can be provided, and also in terms of the sports fan base that can be created around that. So yeah. So this is a bit which will be under the foundation hood. So this is something which will take subsequently. We thought of this entire thing because we were very clear that whatever we do, supporting athletes is something which has to be core to what we are doing. So that is the thing.
Okay, and I can definitely see how that integrates, right? Because you have the relationships and you're building for the athlete at the same time for the community, and you can marry that up where it's synergistic and they can, benefit each other.
Yeah. True. So all of this gets housed under the foundation thing that we have.
Well, very cool. I tried to go to your website. It looks like you may still be working on it to some degree. What's your timeline that you're looking at or thinking about right now for the launch, and where are you in the process?
So see, we have already started creating our connects in terms of creating the NFT art, and also bringing in people on board who would want to become a part of the journey. For example, to be very upfront, so we are trying to find people who like the idea, and we are trying to see if we can raise funds for the period when we are going to drop the NFT. That is the thing we are doing. We have already got interest from a few of them who want to come on board, but we are also speaking to a lot of people on that. And in terms of the manpower building that is there, we have started connecting with a lot of Discord server managers, the PR teams, and all whom we want to bring on board to take this process through. So broadly, to answer your question, two things. One, in terms of the funds, we have some which we have at our disposal, but we want to add some more ammo to the entire thing so that we can take this hype phase and the drop phase in the way we envisage to do. And subsequently, to carry on with that thing, we have started connecting with people to build a team which can continue take that forward. Yeah.
And the drop plan would remain in this quarter.
And
Yeah,
just to kind of,
we want to drop this by within this quarter. Yeah.
Okay, so we got a few months, right? So
Yeah.
maybe 2 more months or 3 months or so until we'll see this come to market. So very intriguing to see how this continues to move forward. I think you have a unique value proposition and a unique sports focus. You know, I don't think I've seen much that, you know, there's a lot of the traditional Western sports. Certainly there's a lot with football, but, you know, when you talk about F1 and cricket and you have an international flair and flavor that even intrigues me. I'd love to be able to travel when I go to Singapore in the near future or whatever, and there's a curated kind of F1 party while I'm there or whatever. It sounds very interesting. So thank you for bringing this to us, Shashank, and I'm excited to have spoken with the team and had an opportunity to see what your vision is.
yeah, man, thanks for having. And I think just one, which I keep saying, request that, and these guys are kind of, they will need support. So I think and Whale Shark is a brilliant place. Like, we love communities and we build as community. So obviously a lot to learn from this community, but also if you just feel passionate about sports, all our DMs are open. Very happy to chat, figure out. I don't think we want to. We are very clear. We are here for long, and that's why I am personally kind of putting this out, because I think Web3 phenomenally will change everything for us. So we are here for long. So if anyone has any questions, doubt, ideas, suggestions, please feel free to reach out to help us in any ways. So
Yes.
I think. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what Shashank is saying is the thought that we are here for long. All the founders are in this full time. We are doing this full time, and we would appreciate any help, any support, any ideas in whatever form it is. We would love to take that, because this is something that we intend to do for a long period of time, because this is something we passionately feel about. Yeah.
I know Rune will probably be DMing you because he insists that he's good at basketball, but it sounds like you may have a different sports focus. So maybe if he gets in this DAO, he could find some people he could actually beat in a game on the court. So and that you'll be doing a service for Rune here.
Oh, ouch! Don't worry, man. That one-on-one is coming, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know if I should get excited. That's a threat. By the time we actually play, Rune, you're gonna be following me all over the place.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for sharing. And again, welcome to come back to the Whale community as things continue to flesh out and we could present what you have. But excited, and thanks for advocating for sports and Web3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for providing this opportunity. Thank you.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah. Bye.
And we are back, gentlemen. It is nice to see you again. We have Moneyball, obviously an outstanding member of the Whale community, and once again brought something from the folks at Immutable Image to share with us that's exciting and upcoming. Welcome back to the stream, folks.
Thanks for having us, Nightmare.
Hey, thanks, Nightmare.
Hello.
Hey, listen, last time you were on, a lot of people were hyped up and excited about it. A lot of people had experimented trying to get into the Solana ecosystem. I don't know if Solana was cooperating exactly at the time, but Moneyball tells me this is bigger and even more immense than what you guys had done before. So we'd love to have you walk me through it.
100%. I know you had Bjorn on before. I'm Jeff. I'm a co-founder with him. And yeah, we got something this has been months in the making. Everything we've been doing at Immutable Image is, over a year in the making. We've been grinding at this. Our mission is to bring, quite simply, the world's best photography to the largest audience possible and turn and create a whole new category for Web3 photography and a whole new collector category. That's why we're on Solana first. We're blockchain agnostic, but we're Solana forward in the sense that it allows us to do things like we're doing on Monday and that we did last time we talked to you about the Mint, which is on Magic Eden. We're using their launchpad technology that most of the users probably are familiar with more PFP generative art projects. We've kind of flipped the script on this and turned it into a way to deliver multiple editions, all still very limited, of a lot of work. So the drop that's happening on Monday, and it's this Monday at the allow list starts at 6:50 UTC. The public is at 8:20 UTC. This Monday, we are working with Canon. It's their first. We've been working with them for about 6 months, so this is a culmination of about 6 months of work. And they brought in their Legends. Their Canon Legends program is a new program with older photographers. When I say older, I just mean established. Each one, they're in the Photography Hall of Fame. They're in museums. They've been on the cover of magazines. 6 of the 7 of the photographers are having their Genesis mints. The one photographer that is not having their Genesis mints is Walter Yost Jr., the sports photographer, Bjorn, my partner's father, who we've featured out throughout the year, that has incredible sports photography that is going to be coming into this mint as well. Couldn't be more stoked. Every artist is offering 10 images. Each edition is going to go from an edition. Each image will be either will have from a 1 of 1 up to a max of only 50, and in increments of 5. So you'll have a 1 of 1, a 1 of 5, a 1 of 10. And again, yeah, if anybody's having trouble on the Solana network, it's really not that hard to get a Phantom wallet. We know the market conditions, but also we feel the market conditions actually meet us where we've been planning all along all year, which is we're trying to bring this to as many people as possible. So that means every mint is 2 SOL, and even less on the allow list. And I know the whale community's been offered. I've been offered some as well. That means you can get a 1 of 1 for as little as 2 SOL, but even the 1 of 50s are just 2 SOL. So we wanted to bring something that has value, no matter what you get. And that's my short elevator pitch. I went about 6 minutes.
Well, I appreciate it because we have some context. Obviously, already spent some time with Bjorn and Walter a few times, actually. For anyone that didn't tune in, these guys are doing some really cool stuff. Trying to take really premium photography, some stuff that's absolutely iconic, and make it at a price that's palatable to grow a collector base and really get people involved in the photography ecosystem within the realm of Web3 and NFTs. And you do it in some unique ways. First of all, the decision to leverage Solana to be, quick, easy, gas is less of an issue and things of that nature. Also, you're doing a favor for that ecosystem, quite honestly. You touched on it. It's known for a lot of its PFPs and things of that nature, collectibles. But likewise, you've done a lot of experimentation, both with the tech and gamification. Is this drop also a gacha or a blind box, so to speak, where you don't know what edition size you're going to get?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a random mint event, and so it's very affordable and accessible. Public, as Jeff said, is 2 SOL. So it's kind of crazy how accessible it is, and that's sort of goes towards our larger strategy of building a broad and inclusive collector class for photography to help lift up photography as a whole. So yeah, you might get lucky and get the 1 of 1, or you might at worst, the largest is edition of 50, which we believe is still extremely limited considering the scale of, this ecosystem and what it will be down the line for sure.
Very cool. Now, was there a drop in between the last and this one? Because we talked about, the success and the momentum of the platform. I'm just curious, how have things been for you guys during this period where the market was kind of tentative, I would say, if we had to characterize it. Were you still seeing that growth and traction that you had prior?
We've been pretty happy with the secondary market. So we wanted to get the collections out there. And one thing we did between the last mint, which was about 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago now. One thing we did is build a brand new hub, and that really represents what we've been doing. And there's been a lot of product confusion. We just, frankly, as well as we do, how crazy it is in Web3, and it's just hard to prioritize everything you want to do. So we took a step back. And we're like, okay, there's a lot of images out there. We have stuff in Ethereum. We have stuff, plenty of collectors in Solana. So we started really building on our channel network, and that's our approach. We're not a marketplace ourselves. We're a hub for photography, and we're looking for the best options for all photographers. As we mentioned, we're Solana first, so there's a lot of Solana, but we're not 100% Solana company, and we're going to expand into other channels. And likewise, our channel partners. We work very, very closely with Magic Eden for Solana, but we work with Maker's Place for Ethereum. We are excited to be the very first photography platform on OpenSea. So if you go to our site, we have now our collection represented on OpenSea. We're going to have direct activations with them in the future, and adding more. So the big thing the last couple months was focusing on that, because if we're building a collector society, our collectors have to have something that they can really see every edition. If you get into the website, you can find every, one of the things we do, and it's Bjorn's mandate as a photographer, successful photographer himself, and also I tease him, a graduate of the Rhode Island School of Design, that the design has to be letter perfect and stand above. But we also feel that's important because we're bringing important works to the world, and we need to do it in a way that isn't just slapping an image on a page. So we're super psyched and proud of our website, and you can really explore the collection, and I think you'll dig in. Like, you're looking right there, you see the featured photograph. Like that's a really special edition that Michael Jordan. It was Walter Yoss's really his first time in 1984 on a photo shoot where he captured Michael Jordan, and they will go on to elevate each other's careers in the photographic realm. So that was the first, and it was also the first immutable image mint on Solana. We only made 100 of them, so we can feature stuff like that. There's featured community in there. I mean, that's just one of our community members created. One of our star collectors created an unbelievable gallery, highlighting some of our partners, our major strategic partners and channel partners. So that's a lot of what we've been doing. And then this meant a big deal. We need to show the world that photography is here to stay. And I just think it's we know it is. We know this is a new category. The conditions have changed. So this is just a great easy way to really get a spectacular piece. I mean, you can possibly get a 101 for 2 Sol, or a 1 of 5, a 1 of 10, and it is encouraging to see, like, on the secondary is that like everything else is everybody's taking a breath, but we do see activity, and our thesis is kind of confirmed that the subject of the editions are almost as important as the edition size. I mean, if there's a 1 of 1 or a 1 of 5, those are very exclusive, but then after that, when you look at how large this world is and how large this world is going to become, especially on the Solana side with Saga and their mobile device, and they want to go for billions of people. We hear Instagram is integrating Solana into their platform, and that just means the assets that people are collecting now are going to be even more valuable. And communities like this, I think, understand it. The larger space is they just kind of look at the headline and say the next thing. But these are the assets now that are only going to be offered now. And a 1 of 50 2 years from now, when there's possibly millions of adopters, what's that's going to be? I mean, at least that's our thought, and that's what we're going at.
Yeah, no, I love that, and I love that you made the correlation there between the mobile device reveal over at NFT NYC, I believe, and what that means for the Solana ecosystem. I didn't really connect the dots there until you just said it. So, thank you for sharing that. Shout out to RISD. I'm actually not far from RISD, so know Rhode Island School of Design pretty well, and spent some time on that campus getting myself in trouble. I'll leave it at that before I incriminate myself on the air, but. But yeah, talk about this partnership with Canon. Did you guys have the existing relationship? Did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to them?
Yeah, they reached out to us actually. They were looking to, understand the space like everyone else on the planet Earth. And, they came across us and what we were doing. At that point, we had just released stuff with my father's work, and he's had a long career with Canon. So that's kind of how it sort of came about. But, we quickly aligned pretty instantly because their intention for understanding and doing something in the space was, more to support the photographers because they realized that, in 20 years from now, with the way things are going, they're not going to be making cameras anymore. If we go on the path that it's going, the economies of photography are, slowly drying up, and basically photography has been decimated by Web 2, and Web 3, as we all know, is an opportunity to change that. So their interest is really just in supporting the photographers, and specifically, their photographers from their Explorers of Light and their Canon Legends program to kind of help them. And what's amazing about these photographers, they've all had careers of, at least 30 years, some of them 70 years, basically. Melvin Sokolsky is 91 and has been shooting since he was in his 20s. And these guys and girls have all weathered the storm and gone through multiple technological changes in photography and have embraced them. And someone like Rizard Horowitz, who is absolutely mind-blowing, his photography has been doing stuff with photography that you would think had to be done on a computer decades before computers existed, and embraced them before they were readily available to people, and was making digital photography photo composites, in the 80s.
I'm going to hop in real quick there. I mean, it even if you're not looking to participate in the mint, if you do like photography or interested at all, please go and check out this collection and look at these images. It's just I'm getting an education, and it's incredible, the stories behind these and the images themselves. Sorry, Baron.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And this is basically our big reveal page here. So I think you were doing it before, if you click on one, you can, the stories are there, all the information. That's basically all the attribute information above the description. So that's what's going to be minted with it. But yeah, it's really fantastic. And everyone here is legitimately a legend in what they've done. They all are fantastic photographers, and very excited to, take the next step and, and embrace new technology and be a part of it. And we feel that like bringing people like this into this space is good for the larger ecosystem of Web3 and also for photography. If everyone stays walled off and doesn't accept the other, the newer or the older people, it's not going to help. So we are really looking to just uplift photography as a whole, which is a bit of a lofty goal, but we see Web3 and NFTs being a great way to do that. And that's why our vision at Immutable Image is simply to empower and preserve photography for the future.
Yeah, I'm looking here, and what I believe you said the max edition size is 50, right?
Yeah.
And so, I think I said this in our first project showcase where we talked with you, Bjorn, but I really appreciate the thought and care that's put in not only into the infrastructure, the aesthetic, what you put together to make, ease and efficacy for the end user, but also understanding the dynamics, the gamification of it, how it could be cool and exciting to be blind, but likewise controlling the supply in such a way that it's appealing to collectors that want to try to derive value, or that are going in here for the artistic merit of it purely, right? There's certainly a lot of that as well. So you guys are a great amalgamation of what's good and possible in Web3. And we're all eager to watch your continued growth and success, both with regards to what it means for the macro photography NFT space, as well as your own endeavors and what it means for the future of what you can do, because you're experimenting, right? I don't doubt that we'll see some other chains and some other methodologies to come in the near future.
Definitely.
100%. And just appreciate your take and perspective on it, because it's nice to hear it reflected back. So so accurately, to be honest. Like, you know, what you just said is really what we say to each other and out loud all the time is we want to turn NFT lovers and NFT collectors into photography lovers, and we want to turn photography lovers into NFT collectors. And it's really as simple as that, although it's not simple at all. And but that's what we're doing, and slowly and you know, with belief and patience, building this for the long term, and doing exactly what you said. There's going to be more experimentation, but you know, hopefully we have a successful mint on Monday, and going from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to me because what you're doing in theory will grow the consumer base, will grow the collector base. It would draw people that may not already be participating in. And I think the photography space can definitely use that, in addition to people that are already participating in the greater NFT space moving over. I think this could appeal, and I'm sure it does appeal to people that may not be participating yet.
Yeah.
And there's some bridging to be done, right? Because if you're coming from that perspective, to get involved in Solana, it may seem daunting at first. You know, I know Moneyball has offered to help people within our community. If you don't know how to get involved, he has some simple ways to hop in and be able to participate. But one thing I do know for sure is we have a robust community of photographers and creatives that are interested in this as well. I think last time they were wondering, and we asked something to the effect of, you know, will there be an opportunity at some time where you guys build something out for people that are creatives that would like to participate? And maybe that's an expansion plan for your platform down the line. But
110%. I mean, we have it on our roadmap over at Magic Eden. A lot of this gets lost, but we talk about you know, starting with the best and bringing in the rest. You know, as long as they're quality, quote unquote, real photographers, there's going to be a home and immutable image. We just have to get the, you know, we just actually think the collector base is more important, not more important, but most important, a sustainable collector base. And then you can feed it, you know, and so hopefully the icons help to establish that. And from there, you know, we have some really interesting, we can't really reveal all of it because I think it's much different than what's been out there. You know, emerging artists, a whole emerging artist program, also some private collector clubs. But you know, heading back actually real quick to Moneyball, it would be great to bring him in because he's a great example of everything you just said. And he's a collector that, you know, we're actually starting to work really close with, just because he had that trajectory of what you just described, as someone that kind of got the vision and all of a sudden, you know, explored Solana a little bit, took a few steps, and, you know, maybe we can bring him in because I know he's in the room with us.
Yeah. Hey guys. Yeah, for the whale community and the members out there. I mean, first of all, whale was one of the first communities that I got into, and I really learned from Whale Shark and a lot of the community members some important strategies, if you will, when looking through Web3 projects, right? Because, you know, there's a whole bunch of stuff out there, and you know, everybody tells you to come buy their stuff, but at the end of the day, some of the biggest lessons I learned was, one, you want to find a team that is doxed and is providing quality and has a history in their field of work, right? So I try to align myself with those projects when I'm first looking at things, and obviously Immutable Image, when I first came across their content, you know, saw the quality of the photographers was really what drew me in, and then the subjects that they were shooting, like Michael Jordan, right? You know, big sports fan. So obviously Michael Jordan drew me in, and you know, seeing the photos, and then the descriptions and who the photographers were, I automatically knew that this is something that I wanted to get into somehow. So it was an easy decision for me to buy into their assets and you know, continue to follow their project as they grow this platform out. I really like this minting methodology that they're using here, and you know, as a collector, I'm just most excited to basically collect these photos and to be able to use them in metaverses in the future, you know, for places to hang out, and kind of put them up there as far as kind of showing off, if you will, right? and flexing, because everybody likes a good PFP, but for me, I may have a place that you want to hang out and watch a sports game or something like that, and sports related things, and I'll have all these cool pictures of the sports celebrities and other things that are in my interest that hopefully my community members and other people will share too and enjoy.
I appreciate that coming from you, Moneyball, because I know we're in DMs talking about all kinds of degen things as well as really esteemed teams, and to have that breadth of interest and experience and say, hey, this is something I would hone in on, definitely says a ton. So appreciate you, as always, bringing these types of things to the community. And I was going to say that I agree with you, Jeff, 100%, that growing the collector base is imperative for the long-term viability and success. And you guys are really at the forefront of that. So we do appreciate that. When the time comes, I'm just throwing it out there. When the time comes, my counterpart that manages our art department has been curating a collective with numerous tiers and levels. And we could have a really refined cross-community drop or something that's very cool in the future. So I'm sure we'll follow up. Maybe I'll shoot you a note and have Moneyball be the conduit, but I think we could do some cool things in the future. In the interim, you have an amazing drop happening on Monday. And I think it's great that you continue to bring these types of things to market and continue to grow that consumer base for this amazing art space within the NFT scene.
So appreciate it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We'd love to do something with you guys. So definitely reach out to Moneyball and we'll make that happen.
Yep. Hey, Whale fam, make sure you guys get on that tier 2 list. We just dropped the link in Discord. Join the tier 2 list. It'll get you early access and a discounted price to the mint on Monday. Look forward to seeing you all there.
All right, guys, thanks so much. We'll post the links into our Discord as well as on our socials as well. And once again, appreciate you coming by and appreciate all you're doing for the NFT photography, or the photography scene as it relates to what NFTs make possible for it. Thanks again, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye.